What is up, guys? It is Mars Sports. It's your boy Marshall. Today, it's finally, well, not that day yet, but we finally know when the new points format for the NASCAR, I guess for the Cup Series, and maybe the others too, will be announced. Because I don't know what they're gonna do with the other series yet, and I don't know what they're doing with the Cup Series yet, but we know something's coming. So yeah, but anyways. So I'm very thirsty. But anyways, today we're gonna talk about the brand new NASCAR points format. Let's freaking crack and do this. Okay, so if y'all don't know, NASCAR has a very polarizing playoff format. That me personally, I like because I like how it makes you want to watch through the end. But apparently, a bunch of other NASCAR fans don't love the format. Yes, there could be things that could be tweaked about, it, in my opinion. But I generally am a fan of the format. I know a lot of others aren't because it's caused some of the more weird stuff to happen in NASCAR. Yeah, but we're gonna be talking about what the frick? Yeah, today we're gonna be talking about what could be the next NASCAR playoff format. So, yeah, but sorry, I'm trying to set up. But let's do this. So, NASCAR, if y'all don't know, they had a few different formats in the past. They've had the full season format, which is the most generic. I mean, most points wins the championship. And they had the Winston format, I guess. Back then that's what it kind of was. I don't know how it all worked, but basically a full season format. Um and then in 2004 the chase for the cup was introduced. And this would eventually turn into what we have now. But this would be a 12 driver playoff where 10 teams can automatic bid, and then there's two wild cards that get in. So I wasn't watching NASCAR when this format was in place, but this was basically it's kind of like what we have now, a little bit like there's similarities, except like 'cause it's like the last 10 races, I believe, but there's no resets at past that. Like the 10 race chase starts and it's a race from there. Like there's no point resets. All 12 of them are in it, and it's basically race to the finish. Like kind of like a 10 race, it's just one round basically, and it's just who could get the most points. Yeah. And then they changed it to what we to a version of what we have now, the knockout style chase, and which was 16 which was 16 teams or 16 drivers, and it'll be t four rounds, the round of 16, the round of 12, round of 8, and then the championship four. Round of 16 would you get in if you won and you're a full-time driver and you have a playoff waiver at least, you are in the playoffs. Um, and then whoever's not in through wins can get in through points if there's enough spots if they're in the top 16 in the standings. So yeah. But and then from there uh it'll be three races to eliminate four, then three other races to eliminate four, and then three races to eliminate four, and then one race will be the finale, which would be four drivers featured. And we basically have a very, very similar thing to what we had back then. But right now, the format, which is we had since 2017, by the way, the chase format with the elimination style came out in 2014. So the chase for the cup format with the point stuff was used for 10 years. And then the current one, I guess you could really it's been used since 2014, but 2017 is the version, but since 2017 is the version we have now. And it's basically the same type of thing, except there's playoff points and all that. So the playoff points are what matters throughout the playoffs. And that's how you get more momentum going to the playoffs. Because used to be back then there was no playoff points and there was no stages. Because stage racing wasn't introduced until 2017, I believe. So this is the 10th year of stage race. It feels like it's been around forever, though. Let's be completely real. But It's just crazy. 'Cause I started watching NASCAR in 2015. That was actually technically 2014. I went to the I didn't really start like watching it like my first full season I watched was 2015. The first NASCAR race I went to was the 2014 AAA Texas 500. That was when Jeff Gordon Brad Keselowski had a fight. Yeah, that was in the round of eight. I didn't even know what it was like at that point. Uh, and then 2017 is when the playoff points were introduced. They made a few tweaks since then. Like they got rid of the top. Oh, top 30 in points is also one thing they needed to be in back then. Although that was recently changed, like 2 years ago, I think, that you have to be in the top 30 in points. Now it doesn't really matter where you are as long as you're full time and you have a playoff waiver. Which the only reason why you need a playoff waiver is because you're injured or something like that. So they made a few tweaks to the format over the years, but overall it's been generally the same since 2017, and it's been under this type of template since 2014. So there's that. And 2025 was the last year under the current format, allegedly, uh, or theoretically, because why else would they be announcing the format now? Over the big announcements, yeah. But excuse me. But today we're gonna be talking about what the next format could be. Because I've seen a few ideas thrown out there on what it could be. I have four options of what it could be. So there's that. But I think it's going to be a playoff type format. So yeah, anyways, let's do this. So let's start off with number one, the same thing. I'm throwing this out there because who knows? They will show up say, hey, we were in a lawsuit this whole time. I'm just going to stay with this format. All that. That's theoretically an option, and we've already discussed that, but that's how it's been since 2017. And I feel like at that point, if you want change, you can't be doing that. If you're gonna have this wide scale announcement of changing the format, you can't just say, "Hey everyone, thank you all for coming here today. We're sticking with the same format. Goodbye." Like that's not gonna happen at this rate. And I know insiders in NASCAR know what the format's gonna be. Like Kenny Wallace knows what the format's gonna be apparently. So yeah, but this is very unlikely it's going to stay the same, at least how it is right now. So yeah, there's that. But now let's get to the next one. The next one, this one is a bunch of diehards are wishing for, and that is the full season. I think that's def honestly the full season is the more like how do I put this? Full season is like the more like valid way to put it. Well, I don't know about valid. Valid's probably the wrong way to put it. It's probably like the it's probably more valid if you want to like account the whole season. Because with this format, it does take in the full season. Like you have to use the first 26 races to get all those playoff points, all that. But then it really matters the next 10 races. So I feel like here a lot of people have paid attention who the leader would be. So I think this honestly has a lot of potential to be. I think it's the simplest way to do it. But with that being said, we might that might end up having some consequences if there's far and away a champion in the end. Like in the last few races, there's already a champion. Like, what's the point of running the last two races if you know what the champion's going to be? Like, that's my problem with that. Because if if they end up doing that, then the last few races, if there's a far and away champions, it's going to be completely meaningless. I'm just saying, like. Like it's going to be completely meaningless, and TV ratings might drop down at that rate. Like NASCAR might lose some money out of that. I'm just saying. So I think that's honestly not a great way to go, uh, because if in that case, because I feel like yes, it would reward for full season more, but at the same time, it would it would like kind of it would potentially lead to the last few races being complete duds and no one's going to watch them because they're not going to be meaningful, and it's because and that and you also have the fact that they're far and away the best driver and all that. So yeah, like I'm sure I'll create some storylines, but like that's the problem I have with F1. Like, yes, it's a deserving champion for sure, but and I really like F1. I know Jack's probably watching this right now, so yeah, but F1's great, but I feel like sometimes my only issue with that And I think the fourth format is valid there too. My issue with that is the last few races can't won't be mean as much. And just me personally, if it was a full season and like there's less on the line at the end, like the champions far and away better, then it would feel like then I'd probably lose interest at that point. Like I'd be like, cool for the champion, but like, what's the point of last watching the last few races? But yeah, but yeah, there's that. Well, I'm very interested to see how F1's gonna do next year on Apple TV. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that's. I think that's this year. Yeah. But I'm gonna make a video on this is a huge on this being a huge sports year because there's a lot of sports things this year. Like at this point, I might as well get a calendar on how big of a sports year it's gonna be. So I don't know, but I feel like honestly, it does. I feel like honestly, if they went to full season, I feel like people would be more satisfied at the champion, but people will be also not be exactly that happy of how the season ends because like there's nothing to watch at that point. Moving on to the last season, goodbye, blah blah blah. So yeah, there's that. But we'll see. I mean, I'd be okay with that, but like I'd have that concern. That's all. Because as a fan, as a driver, I feel like that's better for them because I feel like it'll. But because I feel like again, it's real. Like the season starts and it's, like the points, the actual leaderboard is going to be more documented throughout the year. But at the same time, I feel like if they're far and away the best team, then at that point, it's going to be people are losing interest. I'm just saying. So, yeah. But yeah, the next one is one that he was throwing out there, and it's basically it's an old format. It's the Chase for the Cup format, like the old Chase for the Cup format. Now, I don't think they're going to bring back the exact way because when that was this is when there was just the final 10, like the wild card stuff and all that. I feel like when that happened, it was completely different back then. Like, to be fair, Chase for the Cup's how Spengate happened. Granted, I was just Michael Waltrip Racing being complete dumb ASSs, but I'm sure nothing like that will ever happen again, but at least nothing that bad. But yeah, Spengate kind of got caught through that, and it led to a lot of controversy. As back in 2013, it was actually the last year of that format. So yeah. But I feel like, but 2013, the last year of this format, there were no stages. That's the big thing. There were no stages back then. There were no playoff points. At least I don't think there was. Not like as they are right now. And it was a completely different format, so obviously there wouldn't be playoff points in the first place. Yeah, maybe unless until the playoffs. But yeah, but I didn't watch NASCAR at that point. I started watching right when elimination, the same year elimination style came out, the knockout style, whatever it's called. Yeah. But I feel like this way, honestly, it does it can make some really intriguing things because it'll reset slightly and then you'll go all the way to the end. And we can get like really freaking good battles. Like that's also something we could see at the Winston or the full season format too. Because like we could theoretically see that something like that. Like we could see something really good there. We could see like five drivers dogging it out every last instance. It could lead to good things. I'm just saying. The problem with this one though, it has that same issue. I mean, it's less likely to happen at that point. It does present that same issue of like, is the last race gonna be even worth watching type thing. So yeah, but I feel like the chase for the cup, I'd be fine with it. I feel like it does introduce that type of playoff thing. At the same time, the points matter more. It's a little bit of a weird format, but I mean, like how people get in and all that. There's wildcard stuff. I feel like it provides more exclusivity to the playoffs. So because you have 12 teams, I don't know how many drivers they do. Washington's 10 to 20 drivers. Because 16, I think 16 is a decent number, but it is really big. And I'm fine with it, but like, yeah. But I think that could be what we see in store. Yeah, we'll see. And then after that, and finally, the one that is likely to be chosen. This is what I think is going to be chosen. That's my prediction of what's going to be chosen. What's likely to be chosen, in my opinion, is the 3-3-4 format. So I need to look into this more, but it's very similar to what we have now. It's kind of similar what we have now, but four races in the final round instead of one. And I think honestly, it does give drivers more opportunities at that point. And I mean, there's a chance it could be a snoozer finale, but I mean, to me personally, I'd probably say like a three race. I'd probably say like three races would be the golden number to have for the final round because you already have three. You already have three in there. You already have like three races in each round. So I'd probably say that would be better amount, but we'll see. I mean, I won the bet. I'm willing to bet it's very similar to what we have now, but I think it's actually a good midpoint to what people want because people don't want to take it off finale. At the same time, some people want to keep the playoffs like me. I want to keep the playoffs, but I feel like this is a good mid. I feel like this is a good like midpoint or like a good compromise or settlement in court terms as we learned about the NASCAR lawsuit. Yeah. How would the, the 3-3-4 playoff format work in NASCAR? Let's see. So this is the one I think you're gonna go with. Well, it's a version of this. I don't know exactly it's gonna work, but the 3-3-4, this would be so this is what AI overview presents. Obviously the AI overview might not exactly be the most accurate. But it says round one would be three races. 16 drivers would start and four be eliminated after the third race. Then round two would be 12 drivers could be in the four eliminated after the sixth race. Or and then so basically think of it like this. The current playoffs, but there's no but instead of the last round, but there's one less round and the last round's four races instead of three or instead of one, sorry. The championship and I feel like this could actually increase sales for tracks too in the end of the season because if we were to if we were going with this form if we were to go with this format, this would actually be more accountable. This would actually be more like it's not just a short track. That's one thing that is an issue. The final the one race finale. It does play to certain drivers' strengths. And I feel like if you add more races and make it more diverse at the end, I feel like that would balance it out a bit. I think that's one thing that I'd be good with on that. That's one thing I like about the four race one because it provides more of a more of a balance between which tracks are on the schedule. I think so, yeah. So if this format were to be the one, so and by the way, they don't have any playoff format they put on here right now. So the first round would be Darlington, Gateway, and Bristol, and then the second round would be Kansas, Vegas, and Charlotte. But here's where it changes. The final round would be Phoenix, Talladega, Martinsville, and Homestead. So I think that's actually a really good balance. You have a short track, you have a mile long track, kind of a short-ish track, a super seaway, a, a very short track, and uh, and you also have Homestead, which is a mile and a half, and with like a lot of braking. But yeah, there is that. So I think that would actually diversify the final round a bit. I think it diversify the track, so it actually play more driver strength at that point. It would like even it out for drivers. So let's say if like I don't know, let's say a short track guy, like I don't know, who's a short track guy? Christopher Bell makes the final four, who makes the final round, and then a guy like no, not Josh Berry. A guy like I don't know, Carson Hostbar makes the final round. You'd have those guys like balance out to each other's strengths because Carson Hostbar is better at the bigger tracks, while Bell is better at the smaller tracks. So, yeah, it would even it out a bit. It'd be very interesting to see how about the drivers would do. So yeah, and then if and then basically the chase for the cup format that they had back then. It's like a one race, a 10. The final rounds, the playoffs is just one round. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they have wild card spots pre 2014, pre 2014. No, what the frick? So let's see. Before the spring, there would be a 10 race playoff for the top 10 points earners after 26 regular season races, which go between the 12 drivers with wild card spots for the non-top 10 drivers. Uh, Drivers have their points reset at the start, with the leader gain 50-50 points or 5,050 points in other increments. They compete a 10 place playoff for the consistent finishes, earn points, but wins were the primary goal to stay in the contention for the championship. So I think that's actually a good balance between that. So yeah, the eligibility would be top 10 drivers in the points to make the initial field, and then the wild card spots would be added later on. Uh, and then the field size start at 10 drivers. It expanded to 12 in 2007. That's the year I was born. Points reset. All qualified drivers had their, it was like 5 point increments apparently. So that part I think they could change. If they end up doing that, doing the chase for the cup, they could definitely adjust that with playoff points, in my opinion. So yeah. And 10 race series. And then basically it was a 10 race final round. It was kind of like what we have now, except it was just one round. It was 10 races. Oh, it should, let's see. And then of course you had that weird year when Jeff Gordon got introduced as a 13th driver to the spin gate. Yeah, but there's that. The spin gate did come on. Did spin gate and the 10 race, what the it's referring to it's for the New England Patriots for some reason. Okay, it didn't end it, but it was a major factor. Okay, fair enough. There's that. Yeah, there's that. But overall though, we'll see what happens. If they end up doing a chase for the cup format, then they have to implement playoff points in a certain way, in my opinion. There's that, like they could have extra playoff points for the reset and all that. Yeah, but uh, so yeah, so this now just regards to predictions for y'all. If they do the same thing, we'll do the same thing. That's not going to happen because I don't think they're going to keep the same thing. Uh, Watch this gonna be like one tweak. If they do the 10 race chase for the cup, then I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably do some way prediction. I'll do predictions either way. But I'll have to see how the format works and I'll go from there. Um, I don't know, we'll see. And if they do 3-3-4, then I could probably do predictions kind of like Ben, except I'll do four race. Yeah. And if they do full points, it's gonna be hard to do predictions at the point. I might just do race by race at the points. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work, but once it comes out, we'll talk about it on a video. And then I'll do my predictions maybe later that week. So that's next Monday. I will not be live streaming my reaction. I would, but I am going to be in school that day. And we can't have, and I live in Texas. And I go to school in Texas, and the phone ban, the personal technology ban exists. So I will be watching on my school Chromebook if I can. Uh, wait, but if I'm able to, but I'll try my best to watch it because I can't live stream on my school Chromebook. That would not be that would not turn out well because because it's a school account. I'm not gonna live stream on it. So yeah, but I feel like NASCAR when they introduced this, I feel like there's gonna be mixed opinions, but I feel like I'm willing to bet people are gonna like it too. Or what they could do, they might just come out with a new format no one's ever heard of before. Yeah, we'll see though. My personal format would be a 3-3-3. I think you make the last 12 races the playoffs, in my opinion. I think because I think honestly, because I think you'd have the same kind of format you have now, but a longer finale does have like more diversity in the tracks. So yeah, but obviously the schedule would change at that point. But if they did what I think would be the best, then then it would be then Richmond would be the regular season finale. And then the first round would be New Hampshire, Daytona, and Darlington. And then the second round would be Gateway, Bristol, and Kansas. Then the third round would be Vegas, Charlotte, and Phoenix. And then no, Roval to be specific for Charlotte. And then the fourth round would be Talladega, Martinsville, Homestead. So that's my ideal format. But I mean, I think any version that's fine. We'll see. Either way, I'll be fine. As long as I can see cars racing the track, I'm fine. Especially after what happened in the lawsuit and all that. So yeah. But I'm excited to see what it is. Um, it's streaming live on NASCAR's YouTube channel and NASCAR.com, pretty sure. Yeah, we'll find out very soon. Because it doesn't say anything. Because originally it said the old format on the on the schedule, but then they took it off. So my guess is they're just not going to put it until they announce it. Upcoming full season. I don't think that's really much to take out of it though. Yeah, there's that. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so sorry, I'm just looking at what it is, but yeah, it's sorry, I'm trying to figure out when it's being announced. It's going to be announced. It'll be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern and then 2:30 p.m. Central. So I'm in the Central time zones for now at least, but I'll be moving to the Eastern time zone later this year though. Go check out that announcement video if you haven't already. Yeah, the live video coverage. It'll be on NASCAR.com or the NASCAR channel, NASCAR YouTube. So I think the NASCAR channel is the one on Tubi. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I have that on my laptop. Yeah, there's that. But that's gonna be exciting. I'm very excited to see what happens. And yeah, it'll be I think this format will be interesting. That's for sure. Yeah. We'll see. This seems like this is an overhaul year for NASCAR on the financial side as well because of the charter stuff. Because there's permanent charters now, which is great. Yeah, and then we also have we also have the other thing, the playoffs. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Oh, frick. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Goodbye. See you next one. Peace.